Hey guys, we are out here at the 2021 Keystone Alliance. We're having a water heating issue on the propane side. The electric works fine, the AC side of it, but the propane is not working. We were here earlier and diagnosed kind of what it was, or what we think it is. We have the valve clicks on, you can hear it click, we can smell the propane, but it doesn't light. You don't hear that familiar click, 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 click noise that you hear when it's trying to light. So usually 9 times out of 10 when you have that issue, it's your control board. So that's what we had this customer order, was the control board. We're going to put that on today, but we're also going to service this, so we'll show you that process. We're going to flush this out. We're going to clean everything out inside there. You blow out the orifice, or the J tube and everything in there, clean the orifice, all that, get that all cleaned out, and then we'll change that board and fire it up, and hopefully that works for us. So first thing we got to do is take this cover off, so let's go. All right, guys, first thing you're going to do after you take your cover off is this particular one is a 12-gallon Suburban water heater. You're going to want to you got the switch inside here, you're going to want to flip it to off. And this rig also inside had a switch also for electric that we had to click off. So we clicked that one off also. So now that we have this off, that means our element is not heating anymore. So when we drain this and flush it out, our element's not running and it's not going to hurt the element. So we got that done. Next thing we got to do is get our socket for here. We're going to be pulling this out. This is the anode, but it's also the drain port for this water heater. So we're going to pull that, flush everything out, get that all cleaned out, then we'll go on to the other stuff and get that cleaned. So let me go get the socket. All right, before you pull this out, this tank is under pressure, so you want to shut off your water at the source. So that's what we're going to do here. Shut the main water off. Or if you have on yours, you could also do the bypass for your, in your water center here, or your, if you have the Nautilus system or anything like that, you just can go in here and shut off one of the valves that go to the water heater. That way you can still leave water going to your rig and bypass it. I'm just shutting that off just for the ease of it, but you could just, click your bypass off so you can avoid your water heater. And then what you want to do is you want to take this, open that slowly. You can see the dirty water, that rusty water that came out. That releases the pressure in the tank. And then after I release the pressure, I close it. So when I pull this, the water doesn't just gush out. Because if you just shut it off, it's going to be hot. So we're going to get this going. The socket we're using is an 1 1/16 socket. We have the socket just for this purpose. So be careful when you pull that out. It will be warm water and it'll come out. Yeah, you see all the nasty that come out of there? All the calcium stuff build up. The anode is eating up a little bit, but there's still a lot of anode left. I mean, it is eating pretty good, but still a lot of left on this. We'll do that. Now we're going to pop this valve and you'll see it shoot out of there. Now we just let that drain. All right, all the water is drained out and you can see the buildup there on the inside, the calcium buildup. Hopefully you guys can get that shot. We're going to be cleaning all that up. See, I can use my nail and move some of it. You can see it comes out. We're going to try to loosen all that up inside the tank. But first, before we go flushing it out, we're going to take our inspection camera and we're going to put that inside just to take a look, see how everything's looking. Let's see if we can get you guys a view here on this thing as we get in here. We're still in some water in there. We're out of the water. The tank looks all right back there. You can see the tank. You guys see that? You can see back there in the corner of the tank. The tank looks all right. I mean, you got some small spots back there, but nothing major. That's kind of the stuff you're looking for. You can look at, once you find your element, you can look at that. Everything in here looks good, so this looks pretty good. We're just going to get our wand out and flush this out. Then we'll put the anode back in. So here we go. All right, guys, now after we inspected with our camera, now we got the wand out. We're going to go in here and we're going to rinse out this tank like this with the water on, pull it out, let it drain out what you put in, and do that a couple times till it comes out pretty clear. That way you're rinsing the inside of the tank off and getting all that gook out of there, all that buildup, that calcium buildup and everything. We're going to try to get that. I mean, you can hear it. It's all crusty in there. So once we're doing it, it'll get all that stuff out. So that's what we're going to do. Oh man, you can see all the gook come out of there, that nasty colored water. Like I said, we're just spraying all up in there, trying to get all that calcium out. get it all agitated. It'll come out, and then we'll shut it off and let it do it again. We'll let that drain, and we'll do that a couple more times until it all comes out. You're supposed to do these like I recommend is about once every 3 months, depending on what kind of water you're dealing with. I do mine personal one once every 30 days, just to keep it cleaned out. I want to keep it healthy, but once every 3 months. This particular RV park has pretty clean water, so you could probably wait 3 months easy, or you might even be able to get away with 6 if you push it. But you can see the calcium buildup. This one's been about 8, I believe. So it's got all that calcium buildup. We'll get that all cleaned out, then it'll be fresh and ready to go for the next few months. All right, we have our tank all flushed out and cleaned out. Now we're going to put our anode rod back in. We took off all the old Teflon tape. We're going to put the new Teflon tape on. When you're dealing with these anode rods, this one's still got some life on it, but you don't want it to go, I mean, you know, you just can go down half more, because as these deteriorate, all the stuff that's on here goes in the bottom of your tank. It could, you know, mess with your water system, everything. So you want to catch it before that and flush this regularly. We're going to put this on here. There's a few different types of anode rods. You got the aluminum, you got a magnesium, and you got like zinc. So depending on your water conditions, it's going to dictate what anode rod you want to use. Like if you got hard water, you're probably going to want to go with the aluminum, because it helps take some of the smell out of the water and stuff like that. If you're on like nice city water, or you got nice treated water here like at this resort, you can go with a magnesium. And in some conditions you might want zinc, but most of the time you're going to want aluminum or magnesium. So we're going to get this Teflon on here. We're just putting a couple layers. We have the industrial one, so it is a thicker Teflon, but you guys, the ones you guys can get, you just wrap it around there a few times. That's what's sealing it in. Now we got that done. We're going to put that back in. Once we get that back in, we'll go and try to blow out our chamber and everything. All right, we have our anode rod back in. We're going to let this tank fill back up, so once we get our board changed out on here, we can get that tested. So what I like to do is leave this blow-off valve open, so that way when it fills up, it'll let the air out, and then you'll know when it's almost full, because water will start coming out. So we're going to turn the water source back on. You probably can hear that filling. It's filling up. When it's full, it'll come out of here, then we know we'll close that, and then there'll be a little air in the line after you're done doing this, but just let your faucet run for a couple minutes. It'll get all the air out of your line. All right, that's where the water's coming out, so you're pretty much full at that point, so we can close that off. She's pretty much full. Like I said, you will have some air in the lines. Remember that when you turn on your faucet, if it spits, it's going to scare you. But that part's done. Our anode is still good, so we put that back in. Our tank is flushed, and we're filled back up. Now we're going to go on. We're going to clean out this burn chamber, because it hasn't been used in a while, before we go in and change that board. So let me get this taken off. You're just going to take the cover off of your burn chamber. It's just 2 Phillips screws like that, and you can see in there it gets a little buildup in there, and a lot of that is from paint and stuff like that, but you also want to make sure nothing made a nest in there or anything like that. Just try to get you guys a better light in there. You guys can see in there all that stuff. We're just going to try to blow that out lightly. We're not going to blow too hard, but we're going to get most of that out of there. So let's get our little DeWalt vacuum blower hooked up. There we go. We have it nice and blown out now. You can see all the little things are out of there. Released what we can, so we got most of that out of there. Now we're going to put our cover back on, and then we're going to go in behind this thing and change the control board so we get the spark. That's what we don't have on this, is the spark when we go to propane. I just blew out the J-tube with the vacuum blower also, so the J-tube is cleared. You don't need to clear the orifice unless you got a blockage, but I smelt the gas last time, so I know the gas is getting out. So we're just going to put our cover on, change that board, and fire it up. All right, guys, we are in and behind our water heater here, and main part of this video is we're changing the control box, or the control board in this box. So to take this out, ours is on a zip tie, and then there's two wires. There's one here, there's a plug in the other end. So all right, we got both of those unplugged, And this is the board we're changing right here. When you buy the board, here's the replacement board. Here's the number if you guys are looking for the number. I don't know if that's actually the number, but we'll see in the instructions. But it only comes with the board itself. So we're going to be switching out this board in here. And this is usually the problem. This is the igniter for your water heater. So this is usually the problem. It quits igniting. And that's what we're going to be replacing, this whole board. I'll show you the new one here. It's a pretty quick change if you can get in behind to your water heater. It's a pretty quick and easy change. The hardest part's getting in behind here. Here you go. You can see this is the new board. This is our new igniter. Everything should be on there. It should be the same. It looks slightly different than this board, but this is the replacement number for this board. So we're going to get that installed, plug it all back in. Hopefully this thing fires up.
Action.
All right, we have it plugged back in and put back up there. Just reverse of what you did to take it out. That's all we need to do back here. Now we're going to go outside. We're going to try to fire this thing up on propane, and fingers crossed that it's the board. Yes. Thank you. There we go, guys. That was pretty successful. The board is igniting. It is now on propane. Job accomplished. Usually it's a pretty easy fix when it doesn't zap, or when you don't hear the zap that you normally hear. It's going to be that control board 9 times out of 10. Plus we cleaned everything out. It is set and ready to go. All right, we're just buttoning everything up. After everything got done, we closed the wall up inside in the underbelly, and we got this cover on here. So everything's done. Just remember, you will have some air in the line when you go inside. To turn it on, it might freak you out a little bit. But that's all it is to when you have the problem with your thing not lighting on propane, and you checked out the other stuff, you don't hear that click, it's going to be probably your control board. This one, luckily enough, was pretty easy to get to after we moved the stuff. We got all that stuff set up, all done. So hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please take a minute, click that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, next time we post a video. I notice a lot of you people that view are not subscribed. We would appreciate it if you just click that button. Don't cost you anything, and maybe a video we put out would help you out. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Try something new.